We're in the holiday resort of beautiful Mount Maunganui for race 5 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, the Santa Surf. It's an idyllic location. It's famous for its surf. It's famous for its coffee. They love their outdoors. Looking forward to this. Akaroa played host to round 4 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series Le Grand Swim, a total distance of 2.8 kilometres. In the men's race, it was the New Zealand #1, Kane Radford, who initially decided to take the race relatively easy. Before, through the second half, he opened up his lead, and it was a commanding lead. He would win comfortably. Grace Somerville would win the women's race and introduce herself to the open water swimming public. Just 16 years of age, a remarkable performance for such a young athlete. A little bit of a breeze on the beach here at Mount Maunganui and the beautiful mount in the background. It is such an idyllic location. Conditions for today's swim are absolutely beautiful. The competition simply stunning. Trent Grimsey out of Australia, Kane Radford from New Zealand, Charlotte Webby, Tash Harrison out of Australia, and Ian Heppenstall caught up with a number of our elites.
You know, for you, the big goal's Portugal in June. So what part does the State Swim Series play for you?
No, it's just all about getting out and just getting more experience in the open water and just trying to do some races. And just really just learning about where I am and just feeling good out in the water and confidence.
And I know if you can get a win today, you'll get to the top of the series. I guess winning's still quite important. What's going to be the key to that?
Yeah, you know, winning's always the most important no matter what. It's always up there. But the key to it, I think it's just going to be, I guess, just swimming smart and watching what everyone else is doing and just making sure that I'm in the right positions at the right times.
Who's going to be the key opposition for you today?
It's definitely going to be Trent out there. You know, he's such a classy swimmer. He's the top Australians in the open water, so it'll be a great race with him.
Trent, welcome back to New Zealand. You're a real regular part of this series now. What is it that you enjoy about it?
You know what? It's just these races. It's great for me to come over. It's so close to Brisbane. It's great race practice. You know. It's good to do hard races like this when we're in hard training. It's just what we need. It's great.
Today's a bit different. It's the first genuine surf beach. What does that add to today's swim?
Mate, that I think it plays in my favour. I absolutely love swimming the surf. Yeah, I think it's one of my strengths. So I'm really looking forward to today's race.
What's the strategies going to be for you today, and who's the main rivals for you?
Look, I honestly think Kane's probably going to be my biggest threat today. Look, I guess the tactics just to get out in front and I guess set a pace that he's going to struggle to keep up with. So that's my goal today.
Charlotte, second race in the series, but pretty different because it's some surf up here today.
Yeah, I haven't been practicing my waves. Last time I caught one was at King of the Bays last year, so I'm hoping that maybe natural talent will come back, but I'm not sure.
And for you, obviously, too, building up for the Olympic swim trials, so where does that lay with your open water right now?
Yeah, I've got pool nationals in 2.5 weeks, so, and then in June I go to Portugal, so for open water, so it's just another longer swim, I guess, another training swim, get some distance underneath my belt.
And having a look at today's swim course, a total distance of 2.6 kilometres, and it's an exciting swim. It's pure, it takes in some surf, it takes in a little bit of deep water as the swimmers will make their way around Rabbit Island. They'll take a left-hand turn, swim a diagonal across to Maltariki Island. There, the final left-hand turn into the beach. It's a swimming stretch of around 400 metres. We'll see the arm rate begin to increase, the kick come into play, and we're expecting some wonderful competition amongst our elite and age group competitors. The scene is set. It is race 5 of the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, the Santa Surf. Just under 500 competitors, and Scott Rice, it's a very good elite men's and women's field.
Yeah, one of the best, Mark, in the men's field. Two great Aussies here, Trent Grimsey and Michael Shield. And in the ladies, Tasha Harrison from Australia trying to take on Charlotte Webby here. The elite men wearing the green caps, elite ladies wearing the light blue, and minutes away from a start now.
So a beach start for our competitors. They will need to negotiate the surf on the way out. That in itself is a very difficult skill set. and something I'm sure the elites have worked on. Most of them would have come out here this morning, done a little bit of an environmental scan, get a sort of a gauge on the depth of the water, how many dives they will need to do before they do start to get into their stroke.
Well, it is so important to get a good start here, and they're going to have to make sure they're duck diving under those waves, a good push off the sand, straight through and out the back. And it looks like a couple of those top elite men and women are all the way through the back of the waves. Not a huge swell here today. Idyllic conditions for these guys guys and girls, as soon as they've got round the back of the breakers, they should just have a nice rolling swell as they approach Rabbit Island.
Well, we mentioned some of the elite at the start of the program, the likes of Kane Radford, Trent Grimsey, Michael Shield, but also keep an eye on the likes of Philip Ryan, Jonathan Pullen and Stefan Talbot. And right at the start, we see the #1 seed, Kane Radford, the Kiwi, setting the pace, but right on his feet is the Australian Trent Grimsey, deciding once again today to go with the sleeveless wetsuit.
Well, he's actually looks to be just trying to hang on the feet of Radford at the moment, and very easy to see the difference between these two swimmers. Grimsey opting for the sleeveless wetsuit, and Radford the full blue 70 wetsuit there. So he's trying to take it out quickly, but the advantage for Grimsey at the moment is he's just going to leave the navigation to Radford and hold on to those feet.
Yeah, he is a superior swimmer in the pool when it comes to times over 400 metres, 8 and 1500, so he's doing the right thing, saving up to 15% energy here. And again, if you don't have your nervous system up early on in a race like this, the best thing you can do is just sit back, try and get into some sort of rhythm, wait and hope, and then bring the kick into play. Fascinating duel early on.
And this is Michael Shield out of Australia. He won the Great Australian Swim Series just this past summer in Australia. So he's a very, very accomplished open water swimmer as well. A 900-metre swim out to the first marker just off to the right of Rabbit Island. So these guys will want to be getting into their work. And I guess some of these swimmers not having done this swim before, navigation's going to play a major part.
So already just a little bit of chaos and carnage. Direction so important. Radford now deciding to move out to the left-hand side of Trent Grimsey. That means Grimsey no longer has that set of feet to sit on.
And here's a look at 2011 New Zealand Open Water champ Philip Ryan, coming back from injury. And with 6 big orange marker buoys on the course today, sighting is going to be very important. To hear about that, Cara Baker, one of these series elite swimmers.
Yeah, sighting in the open water is really important. Obviously with pool swimming, you're following a black line and you're following obviously lane ropes either side of you. So it's important so you can see the buoys and obviously seeing the finish line. I tend to lift my head every, say, 3 to 5 strokes, depending on how choppy it is. If it's really flat, every maybe 7 strokes. Never take someone else's judgment when it comes to the buoys. You'll get disqualified for not following the right course.
Some very good tips there indeed, and making sure you do lift your head every 2 to 3 strokes, but you've also got to make sure, Scott, that you're not lifting your head too much and therefore dropping your hips, which creates drag, and therefore you slow yourself down. And this is a nice job for our swimmers up front. They've negotiated this major left-hand turn beautifully.
First of the state marker buoys, they now head out a little bit deeper around the back of Rabbit Island. Lots of rocks to watch out for. These swimmers need to, or the organisers need to make sure that these swimmers remain well away from those rocks. So here's the first look in the light blue cap of Charlotte Webby.
And Charlotte had a wonderful New Zealand Open Water Swimming Championships over 10K, finishing second. Now that gained her selection for Portugal in June, the final Olympic selection race. So she does have an opportunity to go to the London Olympics. Alongside of her, wearing the green cap with the number 10 on it, is a legend in open water swimming, a man by the name of Brent Foster.
Well, Brent Mark, he was, of course, part of the 1990 Commonwealth Games team alongside legends like Tim Bowen. And he's also been a world aquathon champion. So this is a couple of good swimming partners here. I'm not sure how Brent will be feeling swimming alongside the first-ranked female, but I think this is good at this stage of the race just to be going stroke for stroke. But it looks like Charlotte Webby's just starting to pull away at the moment.
Back to the front of the men's race, Trent Grimsey of Australia has now applied some real pressure on Kane Radford. Michael Shield out of Australia. Is this already the turning point in this race as they approach the second of 6 state orange markers, approximately 1,200 metres through the Trans-Tasman battle as the swells begin to rise? Wonderful stuff. Back with more shortly here on the State New Zealand Ocean Swim Series.